Derailing LeBron's excuse train. This episode is going to focus on coaching. As predictable as it was, it's still disturbing. How many shows are saying exactly what we knew they were going to say? A combination of the Lakers roster just wasn't talented enough, and LeBron needed a better coach to be successful. Let's start at the top of the coaching. They're saying, oh, he needs to have Ty Lue. Oh, he should have Eric Spoelstra, because so many people are saying that Eric Spoelstra is the best coach in the league right now, which is interesting. You guys are going to have to make a decision, because it used to be an excuse that LeBron had to play under such terrible coaches as Spoelstra and Ty Lue, and now it's not fair that LeBron doesn't have coaches as good as Spoelstra and Tyronn Lue. Choose a direction. It can't be both. I did an impromptu call with sports and fitness rants last night, and Phil Jackson came up. And I hope no one thinks that the goal was to disrespect Phil Jackson. The point was, today's game, everybody expects instant gratification. Like, hey, spend all the money, bring all these people in, and you should win a title, rather than going through a process of growing together, struggling together, and then everything coming together sometime down the road. So my real point is, how do you know what Darvin Ham could have done? A lot of people are willing to admit that facing the Nuggets was a pretty big part of the problem. Well, then, what happens next year when you face the Nuggets and you've had a year to grow together? Personally, I think you have to get rid of LeBron James, because he's not going to allow you to grow together. He's going to continue to want to start over with an instant solution of some sort. I think that's bad enough. I think it takes away from sports. I think it takes away from the stories behind franchises battling against each other that we used to enjoy so much. I think it's gross that there's this idea that he's owed chances at titles, that franchises owe him titles, that franchises have to give away everything in order to deliver something to him, while at the end of the day, he gets to say he delivered. And in the midst of trying to assemble all the best pieces possible to help this guy, he's enjoying being in the GOAT conversation. You're doing everything possible to lift a guy who can't do it himself while letting him be in the GOAT conversation. That's just madness. Don't you dare talk about his age and that he can't be expected to carry a team at his age. This isn't an old folks' home charity event exhibition game. This is the NBA. If he's too old to be the man, stop talking about him like he's the man and get him off the court and put in the piece that you need. Some people are praising Darvin Ham. Others are criticizing Darvin Ham. And it just reeks. It's just so blatantly clear those that are criticizing Darvin Ham are doing it for LeBron's sake. And I got this sick feeling in my stomach knowing that LeBron James, even if he knew Darvin Ham deserved better and that Darvin Ham did a good job, would happily let Darvin Ham get thrown under the bus, because LeBron James is all about the blame going on someone else, trying to raise himself, trying to make himself look better by making other people look worse. That's LeBron James. That's his career. And Darvin Ham had his hands tied. You know, he really had no choice in the matter this whole season about how much LeBron played. LeBron was supposed to be on minutes restrictions, but LeBron's ego got in the way of that. And I don't think any of us ever believed the minutes restriction thing. I think that was to cover for him being out of shape. And poor Darvin Ham, you know, his job obviously was to praise LeBron James at all costs. And you remember when he said he looked like a 18-year-old LeBron or something like that? Like he looked youthful at the beginning of the season. No, he didn't. because that means you watched him demonstrate endurance and stamina, which I know didn't happen because LeBron can't run for very long. He doesn't run for very long. He's unwilling to run for a prolonged period of time. Can he get in the weight room and flex? Sure. That's different. So, Darvin Ham, part of his job description was to lie for LeBron James and support LeBron James at all costs and not be allowed to bench LeBron James or run plays that let someone else be the center of the offense and have LeBron James just come in and give you a little bit off the bench every now and then. Instead, the team suffered through LeBron's lackadaisical effort. 30, sometimes 40 minutes a game. I'm going to start talking about the players themselves, the talent issue. But before that, a nice segue is talking about whether or not Darvin Ham was actually allowed to use the best lineup possible. We saw how often the Lakers did well when LeBron didn't play. We saw it last year too. In fact, they made the playoffs because of LeBron sitting out. It's just a little bit mind-blowing that people pretend that didn't happen when they want to defend LeBron James. But my point is, if your team is having success that often when LeBron James is out, as a coach, you've got to explore that. You got to see, wow, is this a fluke or are we onto something here? Do I need to reduce his minutes and see if that continues to equal the success of our team? But he's not allowed to do that. He wasn't allowed to do that. And remember, that's just hypothetical. Let's acknowledge that there's a chance it wouldn't have gone that well in the long run. And he switches back. But he didn't even have the opportunity to find out because he wasn't allowed to. And, when Phil Jackson came in, Michael had to change a little bit. Michael had to continue his evolution, which he was already on that path, of trusting teammates instead of just keep doing it his way, which is what LeBron has done. Do it my way or it's the highway for you. Blame the coach, even though the coach isn't allowed to be the coach. When there's success, let's make a documentary about how LeBron was actually the coach. That covers the coaching pretty well, and it's a good time to start talking about the players. I'm going to talk about their talent as individuals, and I'm also going to talk about how they performed when LeBron wasn't there. And I'll do that in the next episode. I appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe. See you in the next video.